Okay, so hi there. Good day to everyone. Today I'm going to give you a tutorial, a very simple tutorial about the organization and presentation of data using Excel. Okay, so what is data organization? Here it states that it's a systematic arrangement of summarizing raw data. When you say raw data, these are the data which is very raw or fresh from your survey or from your census. Okay, so if from your data gathering in short, so it is easier to analyze, study, and of course it's an ease for the researchers to look at. So in organizing and summarizing qualitative data, we're going to start with this. um, we have here a frequency distribution in which we're going to show on how to do it in Excel. This is a tabular summary of data showing the number or the frequency of items in each of the several non-overlapping classes or categories. So I'm going to give an example. So here we have some data from 50 soft drink purchases of people. Which soft drink brand do they prefer? Okay, so we have some variable. Our variable is the soft drink purchase. So we have here 50 um, data from different people. So I have already converted them into the Excel. So it's all here. So these are some important points for a frequency distribution table. First, we need to put some level headings. So if you want, you put a table one distribution of soft drink purchases purchase. We put categories down of the variable being organized and should be non-overlapping. So we can see, maybe we can put here a soft drink brand. Let's call it a brand. That's next is we'll call it the frequency, and we'll have the percentage. I'm quite advanced. We put the variable, the soft drink brand, which is written here, and we'll put the categories. We have the Coke Zero, Pepsi, all rights reserved, Pepsi Max, Sprite, Mountain Dew. Okay, and we'll put the first total here to see that it's all equal to 50 and to double check. The frequency column is the one that these are the number of times the category appeared in the data set, and the frequency in the percent is just the percentage, which is the frequency of the category of a certain category, divided by the total times it to 100% in such a way that it will become just a percent. Okay, so let's do the work. How can we do this? I will be using functions in Excel, and then I'm going to give you a tutorial on how to do some. In particular, I'm going to make use of the function here. I will be counting how many cokes are here in this 50 data set. Coke Zero, how many are Coke Zeros, how many are Pepsis, how many are Pepsi Maxes, and so on. So traditionally, what we're going to do is there will be a, a column before this. For instance, I'm just going to give you an example. A column before this which we call tally. That is we're going to tally one by one Coke Zero, and such. For example, Coke will be one since Coke is here, and then Coke Zero is we're going to put one here. Now this is very traditional. We won't be using it right now. So since we're using Excel, what we're going to do is make use of some functions. In particular, I'm going to use of equals count. This is COUNTIF function. So what does COUNTIF says? We're going to count how many things are there in such data set. For instance, I'm going to use count if. First is I'm going to input the range. So my range is all of these data sets. So I'm just going to highlight all the data sets. And then I'm going to follow what is written here, comma. And then what's my criteria? My criteria is I'm going to count um, how many cokes are there in this data set. So since it's a textual thing, I mean the coke, we need to put that inside the quotation marks. So let's be very technical. So Coke with all capitals. So since everything here is all caps, so I'm going to click then the enter, and it will give me 14, meaning there are 14 um, selections that is choosing Coke. Next is I'm going to follow that also with the Coke Zero until the Mountain Dew. What I can do is just copy and paste this function. So I'm going to copy and put it here, paste. And of course, this is still Coke, right? This is still Coke. But notice that if I'm going to copy and paste it directly, the data set which I'm choosing from, the first row is not It's not being followed. Okay, it's not part of the data set of the second function if I copy paste it. What's the reason for that? Because if when you copy paste, your selection will move depending on the number of columns or rows that you move from the original copied part. So in order to fix this, Excel does this way. That's why even though it's still Coke, okay, it's still Coke. I haven't changed it yet to Coke Zero, but it became 13 because in particular, this Coke here is not selected, okay, because it's not part of the new set of selection. So what I'm going to do is to lock. I'm going to lock the selections of this data set here. How do I do that? This is where the dollar sign comes in. I'm going to put a dollar sign before the letter and after the letter. What's the purpose of this? If I'm going to put a dollar sign before the letter, it locks the column. If I'm going to put the dollar sign after the letter, it locks the row. Likewise, I'm going to lock here also the E and for the columns and rows. So therefore, if I'm going to copy it, it will hold on into that mark. Now, if I'm going to check, I'm going to copy this and paste here. It's still 14 because it locks the column and row selection. Okay, so this time, instead of Coke, I'm going to change this to Coke Zero since that's the second variable, the second category, actually. So that's going to give me 6. Therefore, there are 6 Coke Zeros here. So since it's a little, so we may check it. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and no more. Okay, you can check that. Likewise, what we just need to copy is copy this and paste it to the Pepsi. We just need to change the label here. Instead of Coke Zero, let's change it to Pepsi. That gives us 8 Pepsis overall. Likewise, copy and paste. Instead of Pepsi, let's put it Pepsi Max. How many Pepsi Maxes are there? There are 10. And how many Sprites? Let's copy and paste again. It'll give us the Sprite. There's only 6 Sprites or 6 selections of Sprites. Next is the Mountain Dew. So Mountain Dew. So there are 6 also who chose Mountain Dew. Now, what we're going to do is to check, since we know that there are 50 soft drink purchases, we're going to check if it sums up to 50. So how do we do that? We're going to make use of another function. It's equals sum. Sum is just, add them all. From here, highlight it going here, and close parenthesis, enter, and that gives us 50, and that's a legit answer. Now, how about for the percentages? Again, the percentage formula is here. It's frequency of the category divided by the total. That's 50 times 100. So what we're going to do is to um, equals. What we want to do is to get the percentage of this number, divide it using the division sign, the slash. It's found on your question mark. Just click the question mark without the shift. Um, Divided by the total. Okay, and then we multiply to 100%. So the shortcut there is just write percent symbol and it will give you 28%. Now, if I'm going to copy and paste this here, it states here that there are some error which is divided by 0. We cannot divide by 0. Why does that happen? Because our total moves downward because we didn't lock it. So again, we make use of some locks in our Excel. Let's lock. What we need to lock is the total, not the frequency. So lock here, columns and rows. So therefore here. So if we're going to copy this, it will give us 12% for the Coke Zero. If you're going to check, this is 6 divided by 50 times 100%. So that's 12%. So one secret thing here in Excel, what you're going to do is to copy paste everything, right? And we don't need to edit something in the formula because it follows that it will go down. The B15 will become B16, B17, B18 until the last part. So, but the thing is, we just lock the total. So the shortcut here is instead of copying and pasting this every time, why don't we just um click this on the lower right corner of a cell, okay, of this cell. We have here some square, and if you're going to put the cursor over there, it will turn into a black crosshair. It means that you can copy and paste the formula within that cell column, within that cell, and then it will copy down to wherever you will drag it. Okay, so for instance, if I'm going to drag it downwards up until to the total, it will give us this. Okay, so which means that Coke is there are 14 selections, 14 people or 14 individuals who chose Coke. That's 28% of the total 50. Coke Zero is 12% of the total um, number here. Um, Pepsi is 16% since there are 8 out of 50. Pepsi Max is 20% since it's 10 over 50. Sprite is 12%. Likewise, Mountain Dew is 12%. And we can check this because the total is 100%. That's 50 over 50 times 100%. So that's our thing in that's how we organize data using Excel. Just take note, we must always use the APE format when we convert it to the our document itself. So this Excel helps a lot. What you need to do is just copy paste what is written here, copy this, and then put it wherever you want. Usually it's in the Word file, okay, or the document where you're working on. The pages can be. So just make sure that it's in the APA format since that's the universal format in research in in all journals. Okay, um, renowned journals. So we must use the APA format. Okay, but at least it gives you this frequency distribution. Okay, in Excel. So pretty much um, that's it for this video. Next up, I'm going to teach you how to create a bar graph, a pie chart, and then the rod graph afterwards. So thank you very much.